as it turned out, the original bridge, which has no brand, um, the spacing for the mounting holes are ever slightly so narrower than the roller bridge. And so what I had to do was take a round file, which I already put away, and file the chrome off the inside of the hole on the inward side of the bridge to make it fit over the posts. So, and now it fits really, really taut because I left enough that it would sit really, really tight and not have any wobble to it whatsoever. All right, so now we're at the point where we're going to see if we can get our setup and action height done with the bridge as it is, without having taken any meat off the bottom edges over here yet. So if I can get, that's a start, if I can get the action I want with what I've got, and then I'm not going to bother taking any material off the bottom at all. So we'll see what we can get. Just have to get this tail piece down a little bit more. You can only go so far on each side. I think I've shown you guys this once before. Okay, it's probably good enough to be able to get the action in there. All right, spectacles on. All right, let's get her back up to pitch. 16 on that. Right, they're all still good. And what do we got? Ooh. Turn this baby down. I'm gonna put her all the way down. See what I got there. A little bit higher than I expected. Alright, that can come up on the treble side. I've got some play there. Alright. And what do we got over here? I measured the radius, it was 14 on the down here at the 17th fret. And I've got a little bit of height adjustment I can do there. 3. I'm not going to have to take any meat off. That makes me so happy. I also did straighten the truss rod up a bit. Well, that's a sweet relief. That's going to work. Oh, and the strings are 8 to 41 that came on this thing. Very light. That's one of the lightest sets I've ever received, 8 to 41. I'll be putting on a set of these 9 to 46s. Something's going on with this D string here in this slot. I might have to just run this little round file through there again. Put that over there. Yeah. Okay. Tried to make them just perfect for the string sizes I'm going to be putting on there. And I tried to put a little bit of a back angle. This is a bone nut. And I will likely put a little lubrication in there as well when I put the new strings on. And hopefully that'll stop any clinkling inside there. Okay, so there was a little bit of stuff in there, yes. Still. And all the slots should be big enough now for the new set of strings. Well, with that, good. So this is what the cavity ends up looking like. Full-size pots, standard Gibson style switch, and the standard jack. Can we get some light here? Yeah, there. All right. There it is. Standard stuff in there. As J-Man noticed on his Helios, they're large size pots, but there's no brand on them. The jack is working. The soldering is fairly nice, except for the ground on the jack. It looks a little gray and could probably be reflowed. The switch soldering looks good. In any event, the volume pots, all the wires between pins 1 and 2 would need to be reversed in order to make them completely independent of each other. Of course, I don't like the 47 cap anyway. On humbuckers, no, 22 would be the most I'd be interested in. 22. So the electrics, I think will come and do those after I have taken care of the fretboard. Since I cannot remove the neck and do them independently, I will leave them on until I get the strings off. Then I'm gonna pop the pickups up and take a look underneath there, clean around the rings and the like. These knobs, I'm not a big fan of these knobs. I don't like them per se. I like the speed knobs better, and I have a black set that would look okay on there. The switch, say okay. So I'm happy with the tuners. They left a little compound up in the truss rod area here, under the cover. Also, there was a flow of poly from the black that flowed inside and attached itself on top of a little pack of the white buffing compound, and it made a little, oh, I sucked it up with the vacuum, and it made like 3 little drips. It looked like fins on the back of the shark. So I cut it off and cleaned it out, and I'm going to have to put black paint in there to cover up where the black didn't go, and cover up the remnants of the white that I'm not going to be able to get out of there anyway. Alright, so once I have the strings off, all of that stuff will be done. I did run the fret rocker. 8 and 9 over here are a problem. For sure 8, because you can find it right away. So 8, when you're using it with 9, it was high, but 9 is also high because of the strings when they both buzzed. So yeah, they'll have to come down. So it's going to be a full tape job on everything, and do a standard check and mark them all up, and like I normally do, and get it done, because I learned my lesson once of trying to go after a fret here and there. No, when you get more than just one, it's do the whole thing. In the end, it becomes much easier. All right, so I'm going to go after the neck now, and we'll see how that goes. And once I have the neck completed, I will oil it as well. I think a little dose of Old English, right, Dabini, is good for it. I'd like it to be a little darker than what it is because it's the black and yellow. The fretboard should have been a little bit darker, maybe like Indian Laurel or Amaranth, instead of this rosewood, which is a little lighter. Anyway, that would be my preference. The nut, although relatively clean, the I don't know if we'll be able to see this, but the strings are in relatively deep. And I think I'm probably going to have my file out when I have this thing taped off and file down some of that extra material up there. And that's going to probably make it look a little bit whiter. There is poly right up the side of the neck over this binding. A little bit of dirt on that. And the poly comes right up the side of the nut. And I've had this happen once before. It goes up partial right here where it's been scraped off, and on this side as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sandpaper the side here, because if I hit it with the file, it might cause a big chip, and so I'd chip it off that way, which I'm going to want to avoid. So yes, it's very nice. Oh yeah, I measured it, 7.2 pounds for those inquiring minds. I checked the weight. It's quite light. It's very, very easy to manipulate. Feels good in the hands. Damn, I almost like it. Oh my God, I might be buying more SG guitars. Oh, that's a terrible thought. Anyway, I'll get back to you when this part is done and I have decided what I'm going to do with the electrics.